think my mother purposely delivered it to her house so she would have to bring it to me. I ordered this like months ago, and I'm like, where is it? She's like, it's at my house. I'm like, why?
Because you were supposed to come get it.
So as we wind down to the very, 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 very end, there's so many things that I want to share, but we can't get it all in a day, in a minute, right? That's why we have our whole program, and I'm so grateful, Teresa, I just have to say it again. I hope this weekend got you an opportunity to rest, to learn, impacts you in all areas. Carla, thank you for being transparent. Thank you for being authentic. Thank you for, where's your water? She only did 3 bottles, guys?
That lady threw it on.
Oh, I don't believe you.
Yes,
I'm joking.
yes.
Okay, I need 10. I said I need 10.
That was 10. Okay.
She drank 10.
She did.
Woo! You guys didn't know Carla has trouble drinking water.
Carla wanted them points.
So,
I
yeah.
want a sticker too.
Sticker points. So it's in my phone, and I'll give her points. But as we close, I just want to give a short keynote, because we don't have much time, because most keynotes are 45 minutes to an hour, but I don't mind giving up my time, like to other people. And I love, did you guys enjoy Tammy?
Yes.
The EMDR therapist,
Yes.
right? She is amazing. She has so much going on, and I love surrounding myself with women like her. She said she had a house in Jamaica. I didn't even know that, right?
She's going to Jamaica?
I love Jamaica. She's moving to Texas in the beginning of the year, so she wanted to make sure she has this location here going. She has houses. She's building a home for different people, like an Airbnb for not homeless people, but people who need help and support. So she's just phenomenal. So yeah, get your notebooks and pens out. This is it. I'm going to turn around and introduce myself.
Oh, yeah.
Faith it till you make it. That is the name of this retreat. That has been the theme for my life this entire year and a little bit of last year. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about me briefly, because some of you will be working with me a lot. Some of you have been working with me a lot. So I can go back to when I was a child with, in a wonderful world. I have a beautiful board here, and it's going to show pictures, but until then, it's me. So yeah, it was my mom, my sister, and my dad. Beautiful home, right? Everything was great. And I remember when I was a little girl, there was this girl and her parents were divorced, and her mom and her were best friends. And I was like, wow. But her parents were divorced, right? And I was like, wow, I wish I could be that close to my mom, because this girl and her mom were always together. Next thing I know, my parents got divorced. And I was like, wow, is that my fault? Like, did I make this happen? Because I really longed for that closeness with my mom. I realize now from back then. But fast forward to being a single mom. I know Jessica is a single mom. I'm a single mom, 2 children. And if you're a single mom, you give your all. You do it, even if you're married, right? Teresa, did you give your all, right? It's like you kind of give up your life when you have kids. You have kids? Okay. That's okay. So being a single mom was very challenging, very, very challenging. And then it got to the point where they were adults. My son was 21, my daughter 23, because they're 2 years apart. And at this point in time, I'm taking you back right now to 2016. And I paused for a second, because sometimes in life we kind of like shut down things we don't want to think about. Anyone ever do that? It's like maybe something with your dad, your brother, and you just shut it out and you don't want to think about it anymore. And sometimes, not to say that I forget, but I try not to think about it, right? And if you see the picture on the back of the wall, that's my sonny boy back there. And in 2016, life was wonderful, right? You give me a bad situation, ooh, baby, I'ma like turn it to lemonade, grind it up, add some, not sugar, but maybe some, what's some other healthy good stuff? Agave, thank you. It's like some agave makes it taste good. That's what I do with my life, no matter what you give me or no matter what happens to me. And the crazy thing is, I kind of think of my life kind of on a scale. When things get bad, most people get mad, sad. Me, I'm like, give me more. Give me more bad stuff. Give me more, give me more, give me more. What happens when things keep going down? What do you think is going to happen? It's gotta pop, right? It's gotta go in the opposite direction. So for me, when things are going bad, I'm like, okay, what else? That's all you got? That's all you got? Come on, more. Bam! Then the goodness comes, right? So at this point in my life, 2016, I was still single, okay? I just started dating someone, and I wanted to be married. I was 40-something, I don't know. Do the math, somebody. But I wanted to be married, right? Every girl wants to be married. If she says she doesn't want to be married, I'm not saying she's lying. She just is just saying it, right? But I really wanted to be married. And I didn't know how to do it, but I was just dating. And I was like, I'm dating until I get married. I was dating. There was this guy that I met, and I worked all the time. All the time. And I remember he wanted to go out on a date, and I didn't tell him I had to work. I just called off of work and said, okay, because I didn't want him to think I was like one of those working junkies all the time. Right? So we were hitting it off kind of nice. And am I the only person, like, you have to feel something here? Be like, oh, that's a good thing. Mm-hmm. And I remember one of our dates, it was probably like the first week. And we went to this mountain, and we're sitting on the mountain and looking at the mountains like, oh my gosh, it's beautiful. And he says, let's pray over this relationship. I was like, oh, it's in my head. I was like, okay, this has got to be the one. He's talking about praying. So I remember we took a picture right there. I remember I went to the gym the next morning. I went to my girlfriend. I was like, this is going to be my husband. This is my husband right here. She's like, Tina, shut up. So anyway, it's Friday. Fridays, I love Fridays. Today's Friday, right? No, today's Saturday. Today's Friday? I got to tell you something about Friday at the very end, guys. So I always loved Fridays. I don't know why. But this particular Friday, I'm a morning person. I've always been a morning person since I worked out. So my first class was at 5 o'clock at the gym. It was small group coaching. It was like 4 or 5 of us, 5 o'clock in the morning. And at this time, I was training hard, like body on fleek. And I went to work, and then I came home at like 7 or 8. And then I drove my son to work because he had surgery, so he couldn't see out of one of his eyes. So I'm like, come on, let's go. I'm always screaming to wake him up. And we're in the car, and I'm driving the car, and he's sitting in the passenger side. And at the time, Lil Wayne came out with a brand new CD. Anyone ever heard of Lil Wayne? Yeah. He's got a potty mouth. It's really bad. I don't like cursing. He knew I didn't like cursing, so of course, he'd be cursing even more. I'm 21, I can curse now, Mom. Before that, he didn't. So we're arguing, and he finally turns the music off, and we're talking, and he's telling me about how he wants to get married to his girlfriend, Tati, and how they're going to have 5 kids, and this and that, and on and on and on. And I'm just looking like, yeah, this is cool. And then, if you didn't know, at this time, I was teaching fitness classes, about 20 classes a week. It was a norm, right? And I was the number 1 fitness instructor in New Jersey. Okay, I'm saying that myself, but in my mind I was. My daughter, she was a professional dancer, so she danced for a basketball team in New York. That was her thing. And my son, he had a very successful sneaker store in Rahway, New Jersey. He had another one in Pennsylvania, so he had 2 sneaker stores. And it was kind of like the 3 of us were the 3 musketeers. We were always, I'm not going to say we were trying to outdo each other, but it was like, I'm going to be better than you, in a fun competition sort of way. My son was winning. He's always winning. But anyway, I'm taking him to work, and he's sitting in the car. And picture this, guys. It's February in New Jersey. Anyone ever been to New Jersey in the winter?
Yes.
Or New York, or somewhere where it's really, really cold.
Yeah.
It's really cold. We're in the car, and the sun is shining. And like, you looking out the window, you think it feels beautiful outside, but it's cold, right? And he's sitting there, and he looks over at me, and I look at him, and I said to myself, you sure do have a great looking son, girl, because he's smiling. And I said, your teeth sure do look white today, because something about him just looked amazing that morning. And as he looked at me, there was a sun ray just going right across his face. I can see it so clearly, so beautiful. And he gave me a kiss on the cheek. He jumped out the car, and he went to work. Okay, cool. So that day I hung out with my girlfriends. We went to Maggiano's. That night, the guy I was telling you about, we went out to dinner. And I'm at his house. I'm sitting on the couch, and he's in the bathroom. And I get a phone call from one of my daughter's friends. And she's very hysterical on the phone. And she's like, Miss Tina, something happened to Molly. It can't be true. Something happened to Molly. And I'm like, whatever. I don't know about you, But my kids are always getting into something, and it's like, okay, what's next? What's going on now? So I just kind of left it alone. But then my daughter called, and she's screaming on the phone, something happened to Molly, get to Rahway now! And when she said that, I looked at the phone. I still didn't really feel anything, because I'm like, okay, I gotta go, I'll be back. So I leave. I'm still moving kind of fast, and I get in the car, and I'm driving down the road, and I call my son, and he didn't answer the phone. I still wasn't worried because your kids never answer the phone. They just don't do that. I called his friend, no answer. Okay. I called the shop, the sneaker store where they worked, no answer. I'm like, okay, who else can I call? Because the ride from where I was to his sneaker store, which was in Rahway, was about 35, maybe 40 minutes to get there. So it's 9:15 at night. It's really dark outside. So then I said, I'm going to call their dad, right? So I call his dad. I don't know where Molly is. I can't find him. Make the phone calls. Call the police station, the hospitals, whatever, find him. I had him do that. So I'm still thinking, okay, who can I call? Because so I called the mayor of the town because we were good friends. And I called him, and I remember it very clearly as I'm going down the highway on the left side. It was Menlo Park Mall, and there's this diner there, and he's like, where are you? So this has a lot to do with being present, right? If you didn't know, when you're living in the past, you're very anxious. You're like, oh my gosh. And when you're not anxious, you're depressed. When you're living in the past, you're very depressed. I could have done that, I should have done that, when you're living in the past. When you're thinking about the future, you're anxious. You're all over the place. But when you're present, you're good, right? So as I'm driving, I'm freaking because I don't know what's going on. And then he says, where are you? It brings me to the present. I'm here, and I see the diner, and I'm present. I say that to say whenever you're going through something in your life and you're like mad, anxious, look for a color. Look for a sound. What do I hear? Look for something red. Right now, look for something red. Do you see something red? All right, what do you smell? I still smell them cupcakes from before. Right? It brings you right back to this moment. So I'm driving down the highway. I say Menlo Park Mall, and he says, come to my office. I'm like, it's almost 9:30 at night. Why do you want me to go to City Hall? Because City Hall is right attached to the police station. City Hall is closed. So I get there, and at this point, I'm speeding. I'm a little nervous, like something's going on, I don't know what. And I pull up to the police station, and I run inside, and I go up to the counter, and there's no one at the counter. I'm like, hello, and the guy finally comes up, and he's moving really, really slow. Hello, can I help? I'm like, yes. I'm Tina, where's my son? And he's like, what's your name? My real name is Katina. So I'm thinking he wants that. I'm like, it's Katina, where's my son? What's going on? And he's just taking too long. You guys know my patience already. Ain't nobody got time for that. So I left. And I'm like, I ran to my car, got in the car, went to the shop, which is right around the corner. So I'm speeding down the road. I'm going. When I got there, I saw yellow and black caution tape blocking off the entire street. Now the shop is way down there, and I see this yellow and black caution tape. In the distance, I see lights. I don't know if it's an ambulance. I don't know if it's a police car. I see a bunch of people in the street right in front of his sneaker store. Now, I'm starting to worry. My heart is pounding. Have you ever been in a situation and you don't know what's going on? Your mind is racing, your heart is pumping. It's like, okay, now my daughter is still on the phone with me because she said, don't hang up the phone, Mom. So I'm on the phone and I'm like, okay, what's going on? And I just start running because again, it's like, it's not half a mile, but it's far. I have to run down the street and I'm running. And I see the door to the shop and I go to pull the door open and it doesn't open and a police officer just grabs me from behind. And he's like, I'm sorry, miss, you can't go in there. I'm like, okay, where's my son? He doesn't say anything. There's all these people. It's probably like 75, 100 people scattered all over the street because it's in the middle of the street. And they're just standing there like this. And I can see the ambulance there. I'm just walking around, going up to each person, saying, where is my son? Where is my son? And nobody is saying anything. Whew. Again, still on the phone with my daughter, So I see these two police officers just standing there. And I go up to them, and there's this man, Caucasian guy, with the most beautifulest eyes I've ever seen in my life. And then there's a lady next to him. And I look at him, and I start screaming, and I said, "Where is my son?" And he said, "I'm sorry, miss, your son is dead." It was cold, it was dark. My heart just like completely fell out of my chest to the ground, along with my phone that I smashed down, right? And at that moment, I'm sure I screamed, I'm sure I yelled, but I realized at that point there were two roads, right? You gotta make a decision, here or here. Am I gonna go down this road of anger, pain, depression, doing nothing, just being negative, or am I gonna go down this road here? And I'm gonna fast forward to today, because if we stay back there, it's a whole long story. But the things I learned from then, which is in February 26, 2016, to today, first thing I wanna share with you, the first 3 or 4 years, every Friday, February 26th, I would get pulled over by the cops. I'd be fighting with the cops. Because my son's shop was here, and a few blocks down was a bank, and there was always a police car there. There were cameras inside. So the next day after this happened, I got to watch the videotape of everything that happened, because it was all recorded. So this is gonna sound really crazy. So the person who has the video, they're like, "Tina, you wanna see it?" I'm like, "Yes, I wanna see it." So as I'm watching it, I watch them come in, and they're in the back of the shop, because he had a sneaker store. They're in the back of the sneaker store. It was about 7 of them back there. And someone knocked on the door. And the person said, "Police." And I taught my children to always listen when it comes to the police. The police, put your hands up, be very cautious. So my son said, "Open the door." The person that was sitting next to the door opened the door. And when the door opened, again, this is all on video. There's like 2 or 3 cameras, so I got to watch this all. The door opened, and you could see 2 men with masks over their face. And all you see is this gun coming in the room like this. And my son, they're all back there hanging out, drinking, smoking, whatever kids do. And he takes this bottle of drink or whatever, and he throws it in the guy's face. He gets up and he attacks them, while everybody else leaves and runs and, escapes. And I feel sorry for those kids, because they have survivor's remorse, but that was the right thing to do, right? My son always for his business. So in the video, it shows him fighting the first guy, and then he gets shot in the shoulder by the other guy. Now, the video got, we had to go to the police station, and I noticed there was something on the corner. Like the guy got up and he went, and I said to the police officer, I said, what are they doing? And he said, "That's the gun." Which means there's fingerprints, right? So I'm like, okay. So they still don't know who did it to this day. And we had the funeral the following week, because I needed it done quickly, and I wanted him cremated because I wanted to keep him with me. He legit stayed in the back of my car for like a year. I've actually got him in my house. I was supposed to bring him today, I forgot. But I've got his ashes. And when he was when he was laying there, because again we got him cremated, but when we got to view the body, he looked so beautiful. I was like, dude, right? And he had scratch marks on his face. So for me, I'm just like, okay, hold up, wait a minute, police. If someone scratches you, don't you usually have the stuff under the skin? You have video, and make you guys laugh. My daughter and I, we were Inspector Gadgets. We were going around Broadway like this, looking at the boots, looking at the shoes. One time I actually followed a man down the street. You look like the man, because he had hair here. And my point of this whole story is faith it till you make it. My faith dropped really, 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 really low when this first happened, right? But the support and the love from my church at the time, from my family at the time, really, really turned me around. Renee, can you pass me the book? So we're fast forwarding to today now. 2 years ago, I decided to write a book. My coach was like, pass me the red one. I'm a personal trainer. That's my main thing. This was my first book that I did. And some of you may have it already. If you don't, make sure you get it. This is our fitness journal. I do personal training. And I meet with a client and I say, okay, did you do what you had to do last week? And they'd be like, oh, I forgot. So that's how I created this. This was my first book. So I'm on Clubhouse. I told you I love Clubhouse. And there's a speaker on there. His name is Dr. Fred. We love you, Dr. Fred. He's amazing. And he's talking. He's like, you want to write a book? And I'm loving him. I'm like, I don't want a book. I already got a book. You know, because everyone wants a book. So he talks to me. We're on the phone. I'm like, I love you. I want to coach with you. I said, okay. So I started coaching with him. In the first session, I was like, hold up. Wait a minute, Tia. What you sign up for? He coached people to teach people how to make books and publish books and teach people how to do books. I'm like, I don't want that. But I loved his energy and everything about him. And he pulled the word traumedy out of me. Traumedy is when the energies of a trauma and a tragedy collide. When that happens, life-changing experiences occur. And God has gifted me with so many traumedies in my life. You know, from as long as I can remember till where I am now. And I think it prepared me for the biggest traumedy of my life. So in this particular book, it tells a little bit of my story and how I got through it. The yoga, meditation, breath work, journaling, you name it, it's in here. And I said, if I would have had this book when this situation first happened to me, my life would look so different. So different. The relationships. Now, I was so excited when my book came out. I was like, hey, I even got pictures in it, guys. So I have a nonprofit as well because after my son was murdered, I talked to some of his friends. Like, tell me more about my son. Tell me more, tell me more, tell me more, tell me more, tell me more. Made me feel good, right? And one of the kids said, well, we were hanging out one night and he said if he ever was to die, he wanted a program named after himself. 21 years old. Who thinks like that? Right? I was like, okay, I guess I'm starting a nonprofit. So the next month, I started our nonprofit. It's mainly in Rahway, New Jersey, where I'm from. So I went to the school and I said, hey, I just want to talk to the kids and share what my book's about. So I go to this middle school with 6th graders and I'm talking and I talk to the kids about their emotions and their feelings. And then I leave and that same day I get an email from another school in town. Hey, can you speak to our kids too? I'm like, sure. And then I could feel God like tugging more from me. And you'll hear me say this all the time. Keep the main thing. Focus on one thing until successful. What does that have to do with personal training? Nothing, right? But I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. I feel this pull. I feel this tug. So what I did was I decided to make like a 4-part course with this book for children. Fast forward to the end of that program, which was in May last year. And I'm talking to the kids. Can you make the emoji board, please, Renee? So emotions, feelings are so very important. I always say, how are you feeling, right? Some adults still cannot express how they feel. How are you feeling right now?
Confident.
Confident. Proud. Proud and proud. Tired. What about you?
Excited.
Excited.
What's that, super?
Super. What about you? Teresa, you can come back up here.
Go ahead.
How are you feeling? Motivating. So in the program was 3 things I wanted to teach the children. What we just did. First of all, to understand what you're feeling. Because sometimes we get these feelings and it's like, what am I feeling? You know, there's that movie, help me out. The kiddie movie with the emotions. Inside Out, thank you. Inside Out really helps children with anxiety, depression, you know, all those sort of things. So the first part of the children's program is to have them understand what they're feeling. The second part, express it. Tell someone, you know what, Mom? I was really upset because I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich today. I really wanted turkey and cheese. I don't know why you gave me peanut, right? We want the kids to express. I was really hurt that you picked me up late from school again. I was the last one outside was always forgetting my kids. I legit forgot my son in pre-K. One time I had to get a taxi to go pick him up. They're like, Miss, you forgot your son again. But anyway, second thing, we want them to express how they feel. And the third one, which was the most important thing, my goal is to teach children how to overcome things like anxiety, stress, depression. So the very last day of me being at this school, it's about 75 kids. We just finished doing our chant. Can you pass me that post right there? So my son also, he loved motivational speaking, right? He legit, remember he had a safe once and he's sitting in front of us and he's in front of the safe and he's talking to me and his sister and he's just like talking and we're like, okay. Anyone that was around him, he did like motivational speaking. So again, when I'm going up to his friends, what did he teach you? What did you learn? All these different things. And all the things that we got from his friends, we created this thing called a Molly Creed. And I would love for you guys to join me in this little hoop hooray party right now. I'm going to say it, the creed, and you're going to repeat after me from your heart with energy. These are the things that my son, Jamal Molly Gaines, lived his life by. So I say it, you scream behind me. Ready? Mm-hmm. I can't hear you. Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I need a little more energy or I'm going to make you stand up. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. I will be legit.
I will be legit.
Okay, crew, I should not sound louder than all of you. I'm just as tired as you guys. Do we want to stand up?
No.
Okay, then I need you to be louder. I need you to be louder. Or you're standing up. Here we go. I will be legit.
I will be legit.
I will be a man of my word.
I will be a man of my word.
I will do the right thing.
I will do the right thing.
I will have good customer service.
I will have good customer service.
I will present myself correctly.
I will present myself correctly.
I will respect my money.
I will respect my money.
I will take care of my family.
I will take care of my family.
I will strive to do better.
I will strive to do better.
I will do things on time.
I will do things on time.
I will make smart decisions.
I will make smart decisions.
As I'm reading these, I'm like, my kid? What? My kid lived like this? He was like this in the house. Okay? And I remember one time I would say to him, he'd come home screaming and jumping. And I'm like, stop it! And he's like, yo, Mom, I gotta tell you, when I'm outside the house, I gotta act like a professional. I'm an owner out there. I can't be, because home he's like a kid. So to see that just really blows my mind, right? So fast forwarding to today, faith it till you make it. That's been like the long journey all this time, but I have to do what fuels my heart, fuels my soul, because again, God has given me all those things for a reason. And my thing is, why did that happen to me? Why did that happen to me? Why? Well, perhaps so I can empower, encourage, and inspire someone else to realize they can do and be anything they want to be, right? So last year, all sorts of things were happening, and faith it hit really, really hard in my life. Oh, thank you, Mommy. I was going to have you guys turn around, but I forgot. So does anyone know what this is right here? It's an Emmy award. My daughter and myself, we won an Emmy because of my son's story. You know how they did a documentary? Sorry about that. And this is a real live Emmy, 2018-2019 Crime News, The Tape Room. Again, something that I never would have imagined that I would have gotten. But again, it's by sharing your story. And faithing it, last year I said I need a change. Because I didn't go into all the details of all the stuff in my life. But long story short, I'm not going to say I was homeless. I just didn't have my own home. Because I didn't tell you, but that night my son was murdered. It was 2 weeks I was dating this guy. I left his house and I called and I said, my son just got murdered. And then he came there. And I said to him, you don't have to stay with me because my son, got murdered. He stayed with me. 1 year later, we got married. I would never suggest that. I would never suggest that to anyone. When you're depressed, you make wrong decisions, right? But me, I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna make it work. But it didn't work. I did everything, right? I left my home, my car, everything in New Jersey, my family, everything. And we moved to Texas because he wanted to start fresh, right? He thought that getting married would change me. I didn't realize this at the time, but Tina is Tina, right? So I moved to Texas with my sister and him and, to my sister's house until we were supposed to find a place. And 2 months later, he left. Just out of the blue, didn't even say anything. If you guys know my mother, she's very hysterical. I love working. I'm at the gym. I just finished class. I'm like, hey. And she's like, Tina, Johnny's packing his stuff. He's leaving right now. He's leaving the house. I'm like, okay. So guys, when you lose a son, nothing else really matters. It's like, and what? Like, I don't want to hear your crap. When you lose a son, when you lost a child, then you can complain and cry to me. Until then, I don't want to hear it. Okay? That's all I have to say. But anyway, I called him and I'm like, you're leaving? He said, yeah. I said, did you plan on telling me? He said, no. Okay, bye. And I kept on working out. Right? It's just, so here I am. Of course I was hurt, but what am I going to do about it? I'm not going to force anyone to be with me. My mother said it last night. Either you're going to love me or you're going to hate me. And I kept going and going. And all the tools in the book got me to where I am. So faithing it till you make it. I'm in Texas. Yes, I'm at my sister's house, but it's not my home. And then I moved to North Carolina. That's how I met the beautiful Renee. That's a whole other story there. But then that didn't work. So I moved back to Texas. And I'm like, okay, I'm still back in this house where my husband was. And my mother and I fighting like cats and dogs and oil and water and So one day I was like, Renee, find me a place in Tampa. That's legit how it happened, right? And I packed 2 suitcases, a carry-on, and a personal bag. Now this is how, sometimes I don't think, guys. I love conferences, and I went to a conference in Georgia. Now my goal, check it out, Texas, I was going to go to Georgia and then to Florida. That was the goal. Now this is a conference with very professional people, everyone, like the high-end people. All these suitcases, and, because I got my whole life with me because I'm moving to Florida. So I get there, and I go to book my flight to Florida. And I realize I got to go back to Texas to get to Florida. Because the way the buddy passes kind of work, you got to go through certain airlines only go certain ways. So I went to Georgia, had to go back to Texas just to get to Florida with all these bags and everything and all the to-do that. And I'm literally at the airport. I took a picture. Again, on my beautiful slideshow, I would show you the pictures of my suitcases. And I went to like a rooming house when I first came here, where they call it pad split here, where it's a bunch of rooms and you pay whatever. It was actually weekly. And I love this because I was like, well, if it doesn't work, I can always go back. Had nothing to lose, right? Wasn't like a 1-year lease. I was like, I'm just gonna do it. So I moved in, and I can say this now and laugh. So I didn't have pillows. They don't give you pillows. So I legit took a pillowcase and I put all my clothes inside the pillowcase, and that was my pillow. And I was still doing my lives. Hey, get motivated! I didn't have a desk or anything. So I took my suitcases and put them on top of each other and put my computer on there. Hey, how you doing? Did it? Faith it till you make it, right? Just going, just having faith in God is what happened. And then I moved into a little efficiency behind there. And I'm going, I'm like, yes. And I didn't have a car at the time. So, hello, I have had a car all of my life. Okay? When I was in college, my father bought me a car, and I loved it. It was a Lincoln Town car. The car talked. The door is ajar. So I was used to having a car. I'm in Florida. I don't have a car. I'll take an Uber. It gets a little expensive. I'm like, Renee is like, well, Tina, you can take a bus. A bus? Me take a bus? Are you serious? I'm taking a bus. So I'm still struggling with the Uber. It's like, okay, I think I gotta get a job now. Because at the time I didn't have a job, I didn't have a car. I'm faithing it. I'm faithing it here, right? So I'm like, one of the ladies lived there. She's like, well, Tina, the bus stop is right there. Not even 2 blocks away was the bus stop. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to the mall and try to find a job, because I was ready to go. I'm like, I'm out of here. It was like starting to stress me. I was like, I'm out of here. So I got on the bus and I went to West Shore Plaza Mall, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna try to find a job. And I went into this one store. It was a beautiful boutique. And I'm like, oh my God, I love this. 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 And I was like, you're not hiring, are you? What kind of attitude is that when you're looking for a job? I'm like, you're not hiring. And he says, actually, we are. I was like, really? This was like a Monday or Tuesday. He's like, let me So we go outside and we're sitting and we're talking and he's amazing. I started that Thursday. I was like, okay, there is a God. So it gets hot here in Florida. This is a high-end little store, so I gotta get my makeup on, everything. I'm sitting at the bus stop. From my house to the bus stop, not far, I'm drenched. And it's sweat coming. I'm like, I actually have a picture of that too. The last time I took the bus, because I got a car. Someone's like, Tina, you need a car, but I was scared. I was like, me get a car? I've had cars, but again, I didn't have a car all this time from COVID because I was just traveling. And I'm thinking, car note, how are you gonna afford a car note and insurance? And you don't even have a real place to live. You don't even have a job. How you get a car? Tina, trust it. Okay. So I got the car and I'm like, all right, I'm making this video. This is the last day I'm at the bus stop. Oh, and the car was hard because remember, I didn't have a real address. And when you get a car, you have to have a Florida address. So I was like, Angeline, my girlfriend, can I use your address? I need to get a car. Then you had to show proof. Then I went to the bank account and I pretend like I have a bank account there. I'm making bank accounts everywhere to prove who I am. And I finally got the car. Crazy, right? Fast forward a little bit more, I went to one apartment and now I'm at my own little place, which I absolutely love. Moving again this weekend, but it's nicer. So anyway, I say that to say this space right here, where you are today, is a dream that I've had for a long time. I've had other studios. You guys heard me before say I had a modeling studio, and I probably had 4 different modeling studios because it kind of went like this, kind of like my apartments. I had one studio, then we couldn't afford the rent, so that closed down. Then I opened up another one. Couldn't afford that rent, closed that one down. Opened up another studio, it was kind of like that. So I'm used to that right here because I didn't know my worth. Money mindset. Anyone ever heard of that? Yes. Where you don't charge what you're supposed to charge, right? And once you know your worth, it's like, okay, let's make it happen. So this space right here, the woman that came in, Tammy, that you guys heard earlier, this is her space here. She has lots of spaces. And I was just like, I'm just gonna ask, I don't know, right? And we came up with, some numbers that kind of fit. And I love this, I'm gonna end right here, guys. So when she gave me the number, let's just say it's $1,000. And I had $750. And I had exhausted my own personal things. What's that Bible verse? Ask not, you get not. You want. You have not because you ask not. Right, you have not because you ask not. It's actually in my office right there. And I was at like $750, so I hit her up, and it was a Sunday because I was supposed to get the keys that Sunday. And I said to her, you know what? I guess, I'm just throwing numbers out. I'm not giving real numbers. I said, I got $750 now. I can give you the other part next week or the end of the week. I said, she says, no problem. Just wait and just give it all to me later. Oh no, I want this now. I said, give me to the end of church. I'm in church. Mommy, can I say, Didi, can you? I coined it, and they're like, huh? Yeah, I need $25.14 more. Can you help me out? And I got it, right? When you want something bad enough, you're gonna do whatever it takes. We're here today, and I'm still like shaking my boots, guys, shaking my boots, even with this retreat. Faith it till you make it. Dig deep to find out what it is that you want, and then just go and strive for it. I have no idea what time it is, but I'm sure I've poured plenty into you. Different things that you can do. Community. You see this right here? If there's things that you want, decide with that right there. Make it happen. Write it down. Make it clear. As I mentioned last night, I get these beautiful downloads every quarter because the way you get better at stuff is by repeating it, right? This was our first, and we did it with zero budget or very little budget, right? Can you imagine how amazing this will be once we really get like the thing flowing? So with that being said, questions, comments, give me your thoughts about today, what you loved, what you didn't love.
It was great. I loved it.
It was great.
I loved it. I'm so glad I came. I'm so glad I took the time away.
Yes.
As we've been saying, to take care of me, to take care of us,
Yes.
to meet new people, to hear all that we've all gone through and are going through and are getting through and praying through. And I love that. I loved it.
I love that. Think of this moment. You guys have your journals here. We've done a lot. I threw a lot at you. Just make sure you're surrounding yourself with that faith. Did you have your hand up, Andrew?
Yes, I did. So I really enjoyed all the guest speakers you had, especially, I think you said her name was Tammy.
Yes.
Because I just started EMDR this week, so that just like really, I really connected with that, you know. I was like, what is she talking about? I just started that.
Yes, you gotta love it, gotta love it.
Yeah.
And tonight we're meeting at the hotel and getting dressed in fancy and going out for a fancy dinner and all that great stuff. I'm a little exhausted, but that's okay. Any other questions, comments?
So I want to say how proud I am of you because this has been a long time in the planning and a vision that you had. And many times you could, for various reasons, you could have given up and folded and said, I'm just going back to Texas or just not doing this. And you knew what you believed in. And
By the way, come up here. So she may be silent, but she is deadly, guys. All right. I want you to look at this woman right here. And if there is one person, like you know how you got your tribe, your hood, right? That believe in you. Renee believes in me more than I believe in myself sometimes. Because how many times have I quit, left, gone back?
I stopped counting, but I'm like, okay, eventually.
And one time, and this is why you don't want to text talk. Okay? Because one time I was in one of my moods, like, all right, that's it. I'm leaving. It's over. I'm done. Da, 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 da. And Renee's working on her motivational skills. Let's just say she's working on them. And whatever she, I'm not going to say Scorpio has anything to do with it. Whatever she said, I was like, okay. Which is like, peace. I'll tell you. But what she thought she was saying was, it was something, in my mind, what I heard was, stop complaining. Come on, let's get this done. You've done it before. We've worked too hard to give up now, blah, blah, blah. But in her mind, she was like, come on, you can do this in a day, you know? So that's why you never want to text talk. And I just want to like really say thank you for believing in the, it's not about me, it's the mission, right? The mission that we want is to just replace ourselves and get it going. And we're going to stop talking so we can just party. Give yourselves a round of applause. Woo, woo, woo! You can stop it, mommy.